Hi everyone, it's Darlene. Welcome back for another card on the Ellen Hudson Holiday Blog Hop. I'm using this leaf stamp from the Thankful set and some distress inks along with some watercolor paper. I wanted to show you how I select my distress ink pad colors. I have colored with a foam applicator little 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 inch squares, and I adhered them to this piece of paper with some Tombow Mono Multi Glue. When that dries, it's tacky, so I can put these little squares on there and they'll stick, and then just take them off. I can move them around, compare them to the other colors, kind of see which colors I want to use, and I can pull multiple off at the same time to see how they look together, and then I just put them right back. And that's how I pick my colors. Anyway, so I'm going to start off with this piece of Strathmore watercolor paper, and I'm going to mark it at 1/4 inch, and then from that 1/4 inch mark, I'm going to mark it at 1 7/8 inch. And I'm going to do this at the top and also at the bottom, and this will create 2 points for me to make a line. So I'm going to connect those points with just a pencil line, and it's just going to be used as a guide, and I'll erase them later. Now I've picked these pretty fall colors, Fired Brick, Wild Honey, and Brushed Corduroy, and I'm going to use those pencil lines as a guide for the tip of my leaf, so at the very top of my leaf. I'm going to start with Fired Brick, but it doesn't really matter what color you start with. I'm going to wipe it off each time with my Absorber, which is my new favorite stamp cleaner. It works great. And then I'm going to flip the card over. I'm just starting in the middle here. It really doesn't matter where you start, but I thought it'd be easier to just kind of start in the middle and work my way out. So I'm going to flip it over, and now I'm going to go with the brushed quarter, and I'm going to use the other line to have the tip of this next leaf. And I'm just going to sort of eyeball how close they need to be and just try to make it consistent across, but it doesn't have to be exact. And then again, wipe it off with my Absorber. So I'm going to go through and do this for all 3 of these colors all the way down. And then when I get to the edge, I'm going to have sort of a portion of a leaf, and that's okay, because then it kind of looks like a nice little pattern. So I'll end with Fired Brick and end with Fired Brick on each side. I kind of liked how I had red in the middle and red on each side. It sort of made the design seem cohesive. When I'm finished with all my stamping, I'm going to take my pencil eraser and just erase those lines. And then I'm going to mask off part of these leaves. I've got some surgical tape, and it also works great for masking. It's just a thin paper tape. And I'm going to break off a long piece that'll cover the length of the card. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball this. I want part of the leaf to be outside the masked area and part of it to be inside. So I kind of decided on the bottom of the very top leaf, and I'm just going to be consistent here on both sides. So I'm going to mask off the right and the left, and I'm just going to be watercoloring in this middle area. Now I've got a number 6 brush, so it's got a really thick top, and it kind of comes to a point at the bottom, and some water, and that's all I'm using is just water. So I'm going to start on the edge. I'm going to go up and down across my masking tape, making sure not to go beyond the masking tape because I want to keep the rest of the card white. And after I get through each leaf, kind of into the next one a little bit, I'll get some more water on my brush, sort of clean it off so I can start with some fresh water and not get the colors mixed too much. So you want to kind of go with an even, consistent flow across the area. So you spend about as much time on each leaf so that you get a good, consistent, clean look across the whole thing. Now I went back a little bit and touched up some areas. There were some white areas really close to the masking tape that I had missed, so I went and covered those up. And then once I finished that, I just hit it with my heat tool because I was a little impatient, and then I peeled the masking tape away, and it just left a really pretty, nice watercolor look. To me, this look kind of looks like you spent a lot of time doing it, but it actually didn't take long at all. And now I'm going to take that sentiment from the same set. I'm using some archival ink because it's nice and crisp and dark, and it'll dry quickly. So I'm going to stamp that right here in the lower right hand corner. And I use my Stamp-A-Majig just in case I don't get a full coverage image. I could just stamp it again if I just keep that Stamp-A-Majig in place. For my card base, I have a Hero Arts black note card that's white on the inside. I love using these for a card base when I have a black mat. And I just adhered it with a tape runner. And that is the card for today. It's really easy, clean, and simple, and it just has a really nice look. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.